Good morning and welcome to our Affordable Housing Committee meeting Thursday, May 5th, 2022. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Chairman Fred Hamilton,
Here.
Councilman Dan Wood, Gwen Chambers,
Here.
Meg James, Grace Staples, Grace Staples,
Here.
Denolis Polite, and John Nickel.
Here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If anyone pops in, I will make sure I get you guys the time that they're in and let you know that they have made it in.
Okay, thank you. I assume that we have a quorum, do we?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Okay. The adoption of the agenda, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it. Thank you. The same thing for the minutes that we received on April the 7th meeting. Can we get a motion to adopt those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Oppose? Okay. Thank you. Ayes have it. Do we have any public comments?
No, sir, not at this time.
Very good. Then we'll pass the baton back to you for new and old and new business.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen so you all can see our packet for today. Give me 1 second. It's just moving very slow. Bear with me.
Okay.
Okay, come on. I'm sorry. It's coming. It's just very slow.
It reminds me of John.
It's just moving slow for some reason. Because I have it up on my screen, but it's just not. Don't freeze. Don't freeze. This happened last time because I was doing too much with it at one time. It's on my desktop, but it won't. Just doing what it did the last time. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull it from the bottom. Technical difficulties, guys, but it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you see what I see or no? I might just have to read it out to you guys. It was sent in the packet, but can you see what I'm looking at right now? Can you see the agenda?
No, it's not. It's not there yet. Okay.
All right.
Now you there?
Okay, sorry about,
Okay.
I'm going to scroll over to our memo. So the adopted budget for the fiscal year 2022 Neighborhood Assistance Program was $190,000. Staff continues to process applications to assist income qualified households in Bluffton. As of April 28th, 2022, when this report was submitted, the available budget was $90,509.16. $99,490.84 has been paid out on roofing repairs, septic pump outs, and income verification invoices. Our estimated spending is $14,635, which are invoices that have not been paid out as of April 28th. As of April 28th, 34 homes have been assisted, 5 homes are waiting on repair estimates, and 2 will begin repair work within the upcoming days. So that was, as stated, April 28th. So 2 homes are currently in process and 5 homes are waiting for contractors to go out and submit estimates to me. Any questions with that report? I'll scroll down so you can actually see the Excel sheet where numbers are kind of itemized out so you can see exactly where dollars are going. And I do want to bring up, Chairman, if you allow me, if you guys look at the tree mitigation line item E, you guys adopted the budget of $10,000 for us. And as you can see, our remaining budget for that is $1,990. And I do have a couple of estimates sitting in my email right now from Arbor Nature that's some residents are requesting tree work. So what I'm going to do later on this afternoon, right at 12, I have a meeting with finance so we can move some funds there. So before we actually move the funds, I'll let you know, Chairman, I'm going to come to you, of course, to let you know where we're going to be able to pull funds from before the fiscal year is over so we can do more tree work.
Meaning that we're going to pull funds from the affordable housing budget?
Move some funds around. Say, for instance, line item A is 15,000, which we don't really touch. So I'm going to see if what finance can do for us to get some funds from abatement over to tree, if that's agreeable, which we haven't done yet. You know, you have that last say so. But I meet with finance, you know, to see exactly what we can do in order to up our tree budget until the end of the fiscal year. So more than likely that'll be pulling from abatement, which is 15, which we haven't touched all year.
Okay, I'm glad Heather's with you because those funds for tree abatement is not supposed to come from the actual budget.
Okay.
So we have, and so if we have to move it from the actual budget, then we have to wait until the next budget before we could do that work. When there's more funds are replenished at 10,000 mark.
Okay.
So is that your preference, just to wait till the next budget year if it goes over that 1,000 versus move
Yes.
some of the funds within the affordable housing? Okay.
Okay.
That was it. That's what we agreed on when we first started.
Right. You're correct. It was kind of that extra $10,000 in addition. So with that said, it is budget time and we haven't gone before first reading yet. But this budget, and I believe, Vicki can correct me if I'm wrong, that the budget that's proposed for the next fiscal year is similar to this same budget
The exact
for the next
same.
year. Is that something that you would like to, the recommendation was made by this committee for that $10,000 for tree mitigation next year. Now that Vicki's seen for a year how it's working, is that something you want to leave as is, or just for discussion, increase that in the future? And maybe it's not next fiscal year, but the following, but just something for discussion.
I think it's up for discussion, yes. Okay. Any input from the committee on that item?
Seems to me, Fred, that it would make sense to reduce the abatement budget by 5 and push that into tree mitigation based on this year's experience.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
And if I may, Chairman, it doesn't have to be the abatement. It doesn't have to be the abatement by itself, but also E9, private road repair, which is 9,000. We don't usually, well, I haven't touched those funds since I've been a part of the committee. So maybe if we can lessen the E911 addressing and abatement to take up our tree mitigation. Yeah. If that makes sense to what I'm saying. And we're going to wait, those estimates that I have, yes, we will wait, push that to the next fiscal year. But I'm just saying for next fiscal year, if we take down some of those ones that we don't really use and place in tree mitigation.
Okay. My only reservation is we decided that was a line item that we wanted to be prepared for. So that, I mean, and I know we have used road repair before. We've used that several times. So that's my only reservation is that when we need it, we should always be a line item. Maybe reduce the amount, but don't reduce the line item. Okay.
Gotcha. Yes, sir. No, not take it off completely.
Okay.
And Meg James is entering the meeting. Meg James is entering.
I have a question. Is there a way to look at the budgets and what was used prior to 2020 to see how much we're using and then gauge it from there? Because it could be that we're not using them because there was slow movement in 2020, 2021. Just to make sure before we make any changes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. So next month's meeting, Chairman, would you want me to pull maybe 2-3 years of go back to our budget and see what everything looks like pre-COVID?
That would be helpful. Yes.
Okay. Any more questions about the budget? It's a good thing we're running out of money. Can I add that? Can I put that in there?
Yes, you may.
All right.
Yes, you may. The program is being utilized in a very effective way, and we contribute a lot of that to your involvement, and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Any other questions or comments on the budget? Discussion items on the budget lines? If not, we have Ms. Brenda Dooley, who is the Executive Director of our local Habitat for Humanity project. And Brenda is just going to give us a little bit of information about the current projects that they are dealing with. And last month we brought up, Gwen brought up an idea about building homes on your own property. And Ms. Brenda was a part of the meeting virtually last month and said that, yes, we do that. So we invited her in to speak. So I'll give it over to Ms. Brenda.
Ms. Brenda, thank you for being here, and we thank you for being a long-term member of Habitat for Humanity. Good to have you.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Well, I appreciate this opportunity. I love to be able to talk about Habitat. Totally off topic, though. I think in prior meetings, I've seen Mr. Nickel wearing an Iowa Hawkeyes t-shirt, and I'm really disappointed I don't see that this morning. But
You didn't hear when I told you he was slow?
I didn't get the dress code word.
I'm sorry, I should have sent that ahead. Anyway, again, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here and to share some updates with you about what we're doing at Habitat. I have kind of a couple topics here that Victoria and I talked about discussing. One is what we are currently doing, and then some things that we can do. So I'll start with those things that we're currently doing. I think many of you know that we have 14 acres on Hilton Head that was given to us by the town of Hilton Head, where we are building 32 homes for families that want to live here on the island. We have 28 of those 32 homes are complete, so we're down to our last 4 houses that we're working on right now. These are all single family units, and we expect will probably be done here on the island in October sometime, early October probably. We paid for the infrastructure for those. There was nothing there but trees before. Now we've got the roads and water and sewer and utilities all in. And after that, we have 3 lots that we own in Ridgeland. So we'll be going to Ridgeland for a little while. And then our site selection committee is working on where we go next. And we'll get that figured out here very shortly. So before I move on, are there any questions about what we're currently doing that I can answer?
I guess I need you to go ahead and finish, and if committee members have any questions, please make notes of it. We can ask at the end of the presentation.
Okay. So as Vicki mentioned, it came up at your last meeting whether there was anybody that was building affordable housing on land that people already own, and we can do that. As Fred mentioned, I've been with Habitat for a long time. I was in Beaufort for 9 years before coming down to Hilton Head, and I've been here almost 6 years. I don't know if we've done it with this affiliate, but I know when I was in Beaufort, we did it a couple of times, built homes for families that own their own land. There are some considerations. Obviously, we can't do anything with heirs property. There has to be clear title before we can start talking about that project. And then families still need to meet all of our other criteria. So what our traditional families going through the program go through, this would still apply for those who own their own land. So they have to have a need for housing, which is the easy one to meet usually. They have to meet our income guidelines. So right now we're serving up to 60% of the area median income based on family size. And then they do need to be willing to partner with us. So depending on whether it's a single applicant or multiple applicants, they will have those sweat equity hours to do, 300 to 400 hours of sweat equity. They have to help work on their own home. They'll work on other program families' homes. They can volunteer in our resort to meet those hours. And then because we want them to be successful homeowners, we also provide them with counseling classes before we close on their home. So we have workshops that are mandatory for program families to participate in to talk about budgeting, credit, predatory lending, insurance, legal issues, whether they have a will or not, now that they have this new significant asset or will have, insurance, home maintenance, all of those kinds of things, so that by the time they close on their house and move into it, they've had a lot of education about what it means to be a homeowner. There's always one consideration that I want to make sure families understand, and this would apply with any lender. Once we sell that home to the family, they have a mortgage with Habitat, so we're starting a 25 to 30-year relationship with them. And if this land has been in their family for a long time, it's family land that has an emotional value as well as a monetary value, they need to remember that they'll have a mortgage. If they don't make their payments, they could lose that family land. If we were to foreclose on that property, they could lose that land. So they needed to be aware of that. It's a small risk. Our foreclosure rate is 2%, I believe. So it's a small risk, but I always want to make sure that people understand that's a possibility. Another thing that we haven't done yet that we are looking at right now, and I'm kind of excited about it, is working with seniors. Another affiliate in the state has started doing a cottage for seniors who are living in, say, mobile homes that have just they've outlived their usefulness. They're falling apart around them, and it's not safe for them to live there. Or even homes that they're living in that are in a state of disrepair. It would cost too much to be effective to do any work for them on that current home. And we have access to a plan that they've put together for a cottage that would be, it would work best for a couple or a single applicant. It's a little under 700 square feet. It can be built to be fully accessible, so someone in a wheelchair would be able to get into it. I know one of the catches, and the first thing that comes up for anybody who's looking at this, is that if they're living in a home that's fallen into a state of disrepair, or they've been living in a mobile home for a long time, they haven't had a mortgage payment in a very long time, there would be a mortgage payment. But we work with our families so that they wouldn't be paying more than 30% of their household income on a mortgage payment. That would include their not just the principal payment, but the insurance and the taxes and the termite. And then there should be a pretty good savings in utilities. This cottage would be much more energy efficient than a mobile home that they've been living in that's falling apart, or a home that's in such a bad state of disrepair. So it would be something where maybe the cost of utilities would come down enough to help offset some of that new mortgage cost that they would have. And then other things that I won't go into details on now, just due to time, but to let you know, we have also been looking at multifamily units. We haven't done them ourselves, but we can look at duplexes or triplexes for families. And then we also have a small repair program right now and can look at doing repairs for families also. So with that, I'll answer any questions that you have.
I have one question. How you guys weathered the storm of price increase to keep your homes affordable in this market?
It's challenging right now. In the last 2 years, our home costs have probably gone up about 25%. So we're doing what we can. You know, we've gone out asking for some extra help with donations. We're looking at other alternative ways to bring that fundraising in, and just getting by as best we could. We were fortunate going into the pandemic. We were in a pretty good position, so we've been able to kind of ride this storm out a little bit, but it is a challenge.
Okay. Now, does that when those costs increase it, like you said, about 25%, is that also a cost increase for the homeowner?
It is to a degree. The way that we structure our mortgage payments is so that the family doesn't pay more than 30% of their income. So what it does is we have 2 mortgages that we put on each home. The 2 of them combined equal the fair market, the appraised value of the home. And so that first mortgage is what they repaid back to us. That's what we're going to set up on that 30% household income. The second mortgage would be the difference between the 2, and that one will go away. They basically pay with that one with time, as long as they stay in the home. It's their primary residence. They make their payments each month. They abide by, if they're in a community where there are covenants, if they abide by the covenants, that one gets paid with time.
Okay. The cottage for the elderly, is that a stick-built cottage?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a permanent fixture, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Great report. Any other questions?
I have a question, Brenda. I'm a Grace Staples, and I'm a realtor. I have several clients or potential clients who have land, and they've come to me about how do we, they want to build on it and things like that. And they are obviously don't have the income to do this. How would they apply to Habitat?
So the first step would be to contact us, and we would sit down and look at what they have and talk it through. We have kind of a pre-application. Actually, it's not, I wouldn't call it an application, because we don't take it. We don't take any information from it. We just give it to them and let them kind of self-evaluate whether they feel they would fit into our criteria or not.
Okay. And thank you. It was just a great presentation. I took a lot of notes, and just the fact that you are looking at the seniors as well, that is just awesome.
It's a really cute little cottage, so I'm excited about it. I hope we can do one soon.
Congratulations. I used to be on the Habitat board in 2008, 2009. So just really familiar with the work that you're doing. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Ms. Brenda, I have a question. It's Victoria. Are you able to send me an outline or a blueprint of what the cottage looks like for the elderly?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Brenda?
Excuse me, this is John Nickel. This is a little off subject. I'm just curious. Excuse me. The Restore in Bluffton supports Habitat, and I'm curious as to whether the proceeds go to a state organization or a national organization, or do they stay in the community?
They stay in the community.
So, amen.
That store is a great great thing for us to have. It does a lot for us.
It's a busy store.
It is.
Brenda, I have an additional question. A new component that you guys are trying to bring online is the triplex or duplex. How far away are you from that, and what do you think that would be, how that would work in a partnership, like if with another organization?
We have looked at we have plans, and I think maybe you have seen those. I think Pat maybe shared those with you at one point. We have plans from an affiliate in Florida that does build those. We just haven't had a project right now, a parcel of land where it seemed appropriate to do that yet. So we're kind of just looking at it and getting information about the ins and outs of doing it and how it would work. A partnership with someone else, we would certainly be willing to look at something like that. Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe Pat has shown it to me, but it's been a lot
while.
of years. Yeah. So
That would be pre-COVID, most likely.
yes. So if we could if when you get more information, if you could share that with us, I would really appreciate it. Okay. Any other thoughts? Meg, I think you need to unmute. You muted. Mm-hmm. Meg, I think what you might need to do is sign off and sign back in. I think when you came on, you turned off your microphone. I think when you signed in originally, yeah. Okay. We wait on you.
Well, while we're waiting, Fred, the partnerships that you mentioned, I'm sure you all are aware that the town of Hilton Head has an RFQ out right now for a project up by the North End Post Office. And they're hoping for that to be a mixed income type community. So folks that we would serve at the lower end and then even up higher than what we would normally serve. So we are talking with other developers about partnering on that project and submitting an RFQ for it. So we're willing to look at alternatives like that and try to be innovative in what we're doing so that we can accomplish more.
Okay. What is your AMI scale?
We go up to 60% right now, but we can, international allows us to go up to 80%. And the way things are right now, we probably need to look at doing that.
Okay, very good. There you are, Meg.
No, can't hear you. Ah!
Okay. Yeah, Meg, if you call me, and I'll put you on speakerphone.
Mr. Chairman, what is AMI?
Area medium income.
So Grace, when we're looking at that, it would be based on family size. So a family of 4 is different than what a family of 6 or 7 or 8 would be.
Okay, okay.
And Grace, that's based on Beaufort County numbers of what the area medium income would be for Beaufort County.
Okay, is that the same chart that the USDA Direct uses by any chance? Income chart.
I think USDA will use that based on the area that they're performing in. Yes.
Yeah,
Those numbers are established by HUD every year.
okay.
Are you calling me, Great, Meg? Ken, give me a call, and I'll put you on speakerphone, and we need your input.
Or you can also write it in the chat, Meg. We'll all see it if you put it in the chat.
She's calling.
Okay.
Okay, Meg.
Is it echoing on y'all's end?
Yeah.
It's amazing, right? Okay. I'll walk away from my computer. You pressured me. I basically just wanted to say I was really excited to hear about the multifamily option because I was in another meeting this morning and they were just really concerned about the lack of multifamily options here locally. So I think we should really push that. And I was going to put you in touch with a realtor who has some investors looking to invest in multifamily. And then all these ideas started popping in my head. Super excited about the aging in place options for elderly. That's a huge thing that we've been getting calls at the HBA about a lot lately. It's just options. So just excited for what you have going on.
Great.
Thank you.
Could everyone hear Meg? Very good. Okay. Thanks, Meg.
Thank you, Fred.
Okay. Okay. Brenda, we certainly appreciate you being our guest and providing us with such valuable information, and we applaud the effort that Habitat is doing in our community. Thank you, and thank you for being again with us today. Victoria, do you have anything else?
No, sir. Sorry, I was trying to unmute. No, sir. That's all we have for this month. I will get with Gwen so we can go over exactly what we talked about for last month. The months kind of roll past us and everybody's schedule is fast, so it's moving fast paced. So Gwen and I will have to sit down and go over exactly what she's looking for so we can team her up with staff. Chairman, you and I have talked about that already, but I just wanted to let the board know that we're not sweeping that under the rug. We just haven't had time to sit down and meet yet.
Okay. Heather, are you sharing anything?
No, nothing to share. I think Victoria's covered everything. So I know she'll pull together some just options for your consideration for the tree program. And really, that's it. No other input at this time.
Okay.
Y'all have any questions for me?
Not a question, but I know we're still working on our housing project. If you could help help us in the next meeting with an update.
Okay, we should, I'm excited. Hopefully we will have an update at the next meeting. The topic is on executive session right now it's anticipated it's an executive session for town council to discuss the details of that draft contract at their next meeting. So, yeah, we'll certainly have an update and hopefully.
Okay, very good.
Thanks.
Any parting thoughts from any of the committee members?
I do. This just came across my mind. We have, I think you probably read that article I sent or asked Miss Victoria that talked about the article to send to everyone that talked about the lack of housing. And we're beginning to see foreclosures now, or, pre-foreclosures coming on. Does is it in the purview of our committee to give housing assistance, or is that anywhere within the Bluffton town council purview to help people that might be going into foreclosure?
I don't know. We don't have that program now. When you say pre-foreclosure, that means that they can still come up with their payments and save it from going into default.
Yeah. It usually means they're at least 1 to 3 payments behind. So they automatic, or they're probably 3 payments behind, then they go into pre-foreclosure, and some people just can't get out of it. They just don't have the funds.
Now, are you talking about low
Housing.
income?
Yeah.
And people that fall under the our EMI range?
Yes.
Okay. Heather, are you still with us? Okay.
Right there.
Do you know of any
Sorry,
program? Do you know of any programs within the county that are in the state that we might could tap into? Is that an area that you can help us research?
Yes, we certainly will. Victoria and I were just kind of chatting here, trying to think, and you're right. Right now, this program doesn't have a means to directly assist with that. Just kind of brainstorming quick without maybe Bluffton self-help, or I don't know if there's some assistance with the ARPA dollars that have come through, but we can certainly research that and bring that back. It's a great question, and wish I had a better answer for that.
Yeah. Well, I know it's kind of undercover right now, but we're seeing that a lot of these companies or banks are sending out things saying, "Do you want to be trained on working with people that are in trouble?" And I know from the people within our group, that's going to pop up pretty, and if it is like it was the last time in 2007, 2008, it's going to be critical, and it'll be last minute. People don't want to say what kind of trouble they're in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to throw that out.
Okay. Let's do a little research on that if you'd like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I just said that we will be happy to do some research on that and bring it back to the committee if that's what you all would like us to do.
Okay. When that pre-foreclosure list come out, is that something that we can share? Is that information still private?
It's still private with the banks. They're not really sharing anything at this point, but I'm understanding from my broker that they are beginning, the brokers are beginning to see a lot of calling, a lot of alerts.
Mm-hmm. And I want to share what Meg's shared with me about. She's when it comes to multifamily, she said it's still a new concept for us, and because multifamily frequently means multi-story, her volunteers are hesitant. Um, and I think that was one of the main concern for Habitat at one point, that they usually had volunteers, and a lot of them were elderly and didn't want to do that type of work. Yeah. Okay. All right. Am I right, Brenda?
Yes, you are. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. It just is something we have to consider.
Right. Okay. Okay. Any other thoughts before we end our great meeting? Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for this great meeting, and again, thanks Brenda for her presentation. And this meeting is now adjourned, and have a blessed day.